Hi, it's Zeke with the Eastside Church of Christ in Baytown, Texas. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Looking Up. You know, sometimes people are racked with regrets, and I've got a few also. Some of them aren't my fault, such as the fact that I never got to know my grandfathers. I regret that. They both died before I was born, and so I never got the opportunity to know them. But from what I've heard from people who did know them, they were like most men. They were salted and peppered with both good and bad. But instead of worrying what kind of men my grandfathers were, I should be more concerned with the kind of man their grandson is. And so because I never got to know my grandparents, my grandfathers especially, I try to be a good grandpa to my grandkids. I wish everyone could say that I have been a steadfast and consistent warrior for the gospel. I wish people could say that my love for the Son of God has driven me to never-ending, always increasing service for Him. Some might, but others who know me better know that I fail from time to time. Those who know me best know that I'm often filled with self-doubt and frustration at my own inability to do better in spite of my desire to do it. And here's God's answer to my self-angst and self-disappointment. I'm not done with you yet. I'm not finished. God is still making me. I'm still being molded and shaped and conformed into the image of the Son of God. And I'm not there yet. But I know that as long as I remain pliable to His moves, He's going to make me what I ought to be. There's a wonderful song that I learned years ago. It's called He's Still Working on Me. This is just a part of it. It goes, He's still working on me to make me what I ought to be. It took Him just a week to make the moon and stars, the sun and the earth and Jupiter and Mars. How loving and patient He must be, 'cause He's still working on me. There really ought to be a sign upon my heart. Don't judge Him yet. There's an unfinished part. But I'll be better just according to His plan, fashioned by the Master's loving hands. The good news is that He's still working on me. And that's good news for you too, because He's still working on you. God's not finished with us. We're still being drawn and invited into relationship with Him and His Son. And just as Jesus served us first and gave us the example of service, from that place of being served by Him, we can begin to serve Him and His church. So what God does for me in helping to recreate me is to turn my focus from inward to outward, from myself towards Jesus and His people. That may seem simple, but really it's a monumental gift. This gift of change and transformation. Now, He can do the same for you, and maybe even better. No matter where you've fallen from or what we've broken, our Maker has a grand design, a wonderful intention for all of us, and it's not complete yet. You can rest in hope, and you can turn your focus from inward to outward. Let Him change your focus from anxiety and disappointment and frustration. Let Him turn your focus from yourself to confident faith and trust in Him. Here's our looking up verse for this episode. Paul says in Philippians 1 verse 6, I'm sure of this, that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. That's hopeful stuff. And I'm glad He's not done with me. Who knows what lays in the future for both you and I, as long as we remain pliable to the working of the Master's hands. Thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it. God bless you.